and technology using VR tech to create graffiti art. Go ahead, take it, Federico.
Oh, I was born from the love songs of the East Side Story albums. My mother Chicana, my father Chicano, showed me the aesthetics of my culture. Giving me my first green lowrider bike, showing me how to lean back, showing me how to iron my clothes and crease them a certain way, giving me my first calligraphy book, and showing me how to do Old English writing. So this is where I found my passion in this culture. This is my graffiti art, and it's not just my identity, it's a symbol and cultural knowledge that I grew up in Southern California, and I kicked it with the Southern Raza, and I understand the struggle of being discriminated. And I grew up in Northern California, and I understand the struggle of the Raza up there, working the fields and being discriminated also too. And also, because I'm proud of my rave culture, because I like to dance, I call this electric cholo funk. Why do I bring this up today? Because this is innovative VR technology, and the school needs to adapt to this new innovation and to diversify the arts. So I was inspired by my DI training in my military service and my academic studies at Cal State San Bernardino. And how do I plan to do this? I plan to use Slack app, the communication app, to share, critique, and upload their work. And then they'll have syllabus and goals for the class. And then I'll use AI to translate it into other languages for the international students. And then they'll conduct this in a virtual reality environment, simultaneously working together to make graffiti art. And I'll do a checklist for basic design principles, emotion, and any other conceptual thought, and anything else beyond that nature. So as a result, they'll be able to work on can control without the fumes, without the legal ramification, and this will transition to all drawing mediums. And then they'll be able to work on full range of motion, which we can start training mural activists to go out there into the real world. And then last but not least, I can unite all the barrios from around the world, not just based on their skin color or where they're from, but we can unite their cultural aesthetics and the art that they bring together and create a unique graffiti. Therefore, the East Side romance is not dead. I did this for you, Mom. Thank you.
Awesome. Don't leave, Dale. Don't leave yet. Come on, Federico. Come on. Let's give a round of applause, everybody. Let them hear it. Dude, great job.
Thank you, sir.
And also thank you for your service. So real quick, are there any other service members in the house? If you served your country, I want you to stand up right now. That includes you and me. Anybody else? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for your service. So you said this is your piece of art right here. What inspired this right here?
Just like the Raza, the overcoming our struggle and coping with reality of not having job opportunities and getting discriminated in school and getting expelled from school because of my culture, and never being involved in gangs, but being affiliated with the children around my neighborhood. You know, that's why I do it. And I do it for my mom. She died when I was young. And that's who I do it for. She's my passion.
She's a big sense of part of your inspiration behind.
Yeah, she showed me how to love.
Absolutely, that is awesome. How did your military service? How did that transition into being a student here, being in a master's program? How did that help you?
Well, with the DI training, it showed me a lot, especially sharp programs. That's about not to do sexual harassment. Taught me how to treat everybody with respect, and that English is not the only language. You know, everybody comes from different backgrounds, and we all got to work together at the end of the day.
Yeah, teamwork, right?
Right, teamwork.
Teamwork. So, what's going to be next for you after your program? Where do you see yourself in the next 5-10 years?
Well, I hope my graffiti residency blows up one day, and I can teach graffiti art. But hopefully, somebody recruits me, and I can work for the educational system.
You not hopefully when they recruit you.
Oh yeah, when they recruit.
Right?
Yeah, yes sir.
Because that piece of work is that not amazing up there? That look, it's beautiful, man. So with that being said, Federico, thank you for sharing your research with us, and let's give him a round of applause one more time.
Hi, my name is Federico Sanchez, and I will be teaching you graffiti art. So first, we'll be using the Slack app. If you haven't downloaded it, it looks like this. And that's the icon. And it will consist of different channels to navigate as you progress through the course. And we will start with this channel. The new users start here, and you will begin with this video. And this basically gives an in-game overview and what it's gonna look like. And right there we are looking at the settings and trying to make sure the Wi-Fi is good. And so there's the phone, and you could pretty much go online, you can load your artwork, save your artwork, choose a different location, and you can clean the wall. And you got the different palettes, different caps to create different texture and effects, different hues. And then also there's a pressure system, metallic colors. And then you can save your colors just by pressing on the arrow to the right. See, there's different values. See right there, I'm just loading in my artwork. And then use a point and shoot to maneuver. But then if you make enough space, you can actually walk. You can walk around, and you can use that space to like replicate the wall. And so and if you go outside the barrier, this frame will appear, so it won't let you crash out or like hurt, so you won't hurt yourself. But so if you're good enough, you can draw the frame long enough too, where you can just like walk up and down and paint, and then use teleporting to adjust yourself. And so you can get a little, see how the can control how you can maneuver the can like an airbrush, pushing in and out. Okay, and then you can see how I can critique your work. I'll add you as a friend, and then I just added random people, and we're gonna join somebody. And so I joined Cabal Man 223, and this is how I can look at your work. Jumping in other people's other maps. Oh. Whoops. Oh. There's also a gallery setting that you can see from everyone else around the world what they're doing. But yeah, so there's that little bit in-game overview. And here's a manga, make space for the virtual wall, because that's where you're going to be painting. And we'll be replacing spray cans to protect your health and to keep you off the streets. Let's see. And then the goals for the project is, what are the goals for the projects and our class, like what we'll be doing. So we'll work backwards a little bit here. Project 1, we'll create a graffiti art collaboratively. Project 2, create graffiti art collaboratively. Project 3, you present graffiti art from anywhere around the world. So in the beginning, I'm gonna want you guys to work together, and whoever your partner is, you guys will be combining your guys' art to create your own cultural aesthetic, whether it's through design or a type of emotion or an idea or concept or something conceptual. And then I also use an AI to translate the goals and the projects. Feel free to look at the different languages and see if there's any mistakes so I can edit it. I'm using AI and I just want to test this. Okay, and then this is where you'll post your work after you're done. And then you can do that just by uploading right here. There's attach. And then you go to upload critique. The work you selected for where you will select work from the poster work section, and you will upload a critique and choose one of the works. And then this is where you'll post your presentation. And for this presentation, I'm not really looking for a specific cultural or historic perspective. Instead, I want to see aesthetics that the artist or groups offers. The presentation should be 3 to 5 minutes long and can be any format. And here is where you can pull for the artist presentation. You can find your own. This is an example of who you could look for. So I have Case 2 New York, and then I also have it in an alternate format, PDF instead of Word. And then we have like Diva and Shiva, woman graffiti artists who are freight artists and known internationally. Okay, and then we have the tools that we'll be using for the class: the MetaQuest controllers, room space for the VR, laptop, hard drive, iPad, Apple Pencils, and other apps such as Gesture VR. And then this is where you can up your guys' social, where you guys can connect. And these are just additional resources that you should just be practicing on your own as you grow as an artist. And even when you feel like you reached, I guess, a state where you're satisfied, these are still things that you should still be practicing. So, we have like value hue studies. And this is where you adjust values. And then here's an example of basic design principle, just repetition, just explaining different ways how to do it. And then just practicing drawing basic shapes and using a light source. And then how to manipulate letters for handwriting. And you can, for alternative stuff, you can also do it in a sketchbook, but you can do it in the VR or sketchbook. But these are done on your own time, and this will be a testament of your will. And you will not be turning this in. This will be integrity. And I believe that wraps it up. So it's time to get together and make some art, or start a crew and make some art.